Hello, everybody, and welcome to Test Run. I'm your host, CodeMarvelous, and today I'm again joined by Brian, otherwise known as 0 Hour.
Hello, everybody.
And for those of you who don't know, 0 Hour is a fine deck builder and active Stimhack forum participant, as well as NRDB participant. And he's one of the people that I probably interacted the most with on the internet as far as deck building is concerned. In our last episode, we built a Geist deck with a few of our favorite cards. Right, Brian?
Yeah, anything that runs a lot of synergy, we're on top of it.
Yeah, if we can need 5 cards together to win, that's really what would be best.
Right. Yep. That's one more than a 4-card combo.
Right. So now we're going to take that deck. The list is in the show notes. And we're going to see how we do against a random opponent on jinteki.net. So let's see who we can find.
Yep, stick it right there in the casual section.
It's weird because even though it's out, it still comes up as casual play only. I am recording.
I don't think you... Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I always like to let people know.
Yep.
Because that way, some people get too nervous or it might affect their enjoyment of the game. I certainly don't want to stress somebody out when they're trying to play casual Netrunner,
Right, but hey, they get internet famous, right? That's the key. Ooh. This will be interesting. At least we have the link.
Recording for what?
We're dropping our new mixtape.
Yeah. Yeah, well, so do we keep this? I don't know. I think this is decent.
Did he keep? Or did he mull?
He kept.
I mean, it's decent, but I think we really want to try to mull for like a tech trader and an off-campus, something to start building our board state. So like while you can get like 1 or 2 free credits here, I think we're going to have to go pretty fast. So we want the draw. So this looks...
That's actually pretty good, because I think this guy might be trying to trace us with either a C-Source or a mid-season at some point. So the film critic in the opening hand's actually pretty good.
Yep, and we get the free 2 credits and draw at the very least off of Fall Guy. So I think we're going to have a little bit of solitaire at the start of this game, but I think we can make the comeback in the mid-game. Just going to leave HQ open against Criminal. Seems solid.
See, this is just our karmic punishment for cutting the account siphons.
Yeah, this is what we get.
This is what we get. All right, so we have to check it. Do we drop the film critic first?
Yeah, I mean, I think you want to do the... Well, it's kind of early. Yeah, drop the film critic. You might as well. And then, we'll just take some checks. You don't want to get the Explodapalooza to go off real big for him right now.
Early premiere.
Oh, here we go with the jank. Just let it sit. We're going to be money starved as it is. So I would take some cards now because just draw normal, I think. Because you want to see the off-campus before you put the Fall Guy down.
Right.
So I think maybe you just drop the tech writer here because it's not a connection and it doesn't matter.
Yep. Nice little Bioroid here, looks like.
Yep, it looks like they're both watching a film together.
Yeah. I was actually making the joke on the forums with the film critic coming back, like we were discussing for the Future Perfect. I was like, man, Jinteki must finance a bunch of really bad martial arts movies because the film critics are all over them.
Right. The Future Perfect kind of sounds like a kung fu movie.
Yeah.
So the pad's going to be interesting.
It's telling a story.
Yikes. Well, at least we got the scrubber. Hopefully we see that nice and early. It looks like he may be a little ice light. So... we have a little bit of time before things start getting hairy for us.
I think that's fair.
Digging a lot. That's really weird.
I also, I think it's safe to say that with a deck like this, he's trying to bait us into any successful run for C-Source, which is why my old breaking news always had pads or some sort of expensive to trash econ assets, so that you ran and gave me a 5 credit swing because you paid 5. I'm gonna C-Source you now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all about the credit disparity in those situations. So yeah, we'll see if he has marked. But anyway, yeah. So here you're gonna draw because you want to start seeing the cards that you want to install. We really want to get that off-campus apartment going. So I would draw again because we have at least 1 free card to install. I think we still want to play all these cards, so I would play down the Fall Guy and the Shiv, because the Shiv doesn't give away any of our important breaking power.
Right.
And he's going to assume we're on the B&E suite, so it doesn't give him any info.
Yeah. And Shiv's done by one of my favorite Netrunner artists, Adam S. Doyle.
Yep. Are the other ones? Who are the other ones done by? Different people?
Different people. Adam S. Doyle, almost all of his art for Netrunner, he did Medium, which is one of my all-time favorite cards. It all has like instead of it being like zeros and ones or like grids, he always does the digitalization as like vapor.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So he's installing in a new remote. He's digging for something.
Yeah, I would expect that to be more asset economy. I mean, yes, he seems to be flooded with something he doesn't want, and it could be an agenda, but I feel like it's just too early for him to really risk setting something out.
Casting call.
So he's definitely on some sort of like.
He knows that we can just run that with Film Critic, right?
Actually, he may be mistaken on that. Does that even work together? Does it? Because I don't know.
I'm gonna let him take it back.
Well, I just mean, yeah. There's the Film Critic too, but I mean the card combo itself. Does that even work? I think he's thinking about us recording him, not the card. Tell him the card. Maybe he doesn't realize it gets past it. Okay, I mean, maybe he wants to load it or something. Well, we gave him his shot. I think that's enough of an opportunity. Oh, all right. As long as he realizes it. I'm fine with him taking it back in this situation.
Yeah.
Just as the way I play, I don't mind people not making.
Yeah.
Taking back not optimal plays.
We're in casuals.
Yeah. Okay. He's fine with it. We can't do much more than that. So, I think
we could also just let him score it because it's going to be 3 credits out of his pocket.
Well, there's that, but it does kind of turn on the breaking news combo. So, I still might try to keep him off cards if it's totally necessary. Keep him off agenda scores. So, here I would pop the Fall Guy to draw so that we have the full suite of turns because it's not going to really do us much good, otherwise, unless we get the Tech Trader. So
we drew a Crescentius off that.
Okay. So if he's going to try to score that agenda this next turn, he's probably not going to be able to afford to res the ice. So I would start pressuring the centrals even with basically nothing, right? Because if he's going to need 3 credits to score that agenda, he can't defend his centrals, right? Unless it's a pop-up window.
Right.
So I would at least poke probably R&D.
Okay, yeah, I think that's fair.
It might buy us a free access is my point.
Yeah.
It might also give him a credit with a pop-up window. Okay, so he just went broke. I think that's totally fine. We'll bounce. And then I think we should go to HQ here and just kind of see what he spent a lot of clicks drawing, so we should see what he's...
I'm going to guess it's a pop-up.
Yeah, or Quandary.
That's going to be my guess.
The guard on R&D is really good because we have Crescentus, and that's a ridiculous res cost to strength ratio for us.
Yep.
So we can at least...
Closed accounts.
Okay, that's fine. I might take another run.
Then we can just go get the quantum predictive model.
Right, we don't have to be installing anything this turn, so just, yeah. Unfortunately, it's hindering our development, which is something that's super important to this deck, but I think getting the info now is important. We can get a feel for what his ice are. Oh, all right,
Market research.
We film critic that. No, we don't. We just take it.
Yeah, we just take it. He can't counteract us. Or he can't counterattack us.
Yep, and then I would just go get the thing on the film critic. I mean, you might as well, right? How does that work on Jinteki?
It's
okay, there we go. Got it.
Works.
All right. Nice little 3-point start with 0 credits.
Yeah, you know.
All right, so if he doesn't do something about it, we may need to trash the pad campaign because it's going to help keep him poor. Kind of wonder if we should have fired off the legwork there when he didn't res the first time.
I mean, we're at 3 points.
Yeah. It's hard to criticize when you're that far ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, the kitty cat agendas, man. They're pretty good.
Yep. Double icing the HQ and going down to 1 credit. That is super interesting.
All right, so I think maybe we draw. See if we can maybe get a tech trader somewhere in here.
Yeah, I would draw at least one.
Ooh, do we pedal?
Yeah, we got to start digging for cards, so it's crucial that we see start going into our deck.
Cool. Two
So,
breakers and a fall guy.
okay. I'm a little less concerned about the breakers than the fall guy, but I think, we can sit on that for a little bit. We don't have to make a decision there anytime soon. I like taking a shot at HQ here while
Just to
it's
see
cheap.
what he reses. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of want to know what his ice are, especially when we're sitting on the legworks. If we can get him to 0 and know what the ice are, we can at least get in for sure and see every card.
Ugh.
This not going well for this guy. um, I don't know. So our options here are trash the pad to keep him poor, which makes us poor, but we'll get money with tech trader eventually, or tech writer. Sorry, we can check remote too and see what it is because it can't be
Oh no,
anything too bad.
it's the flipped over casting call.
No, casting calls in the heap or in the archives.
Oh.
So we can find out what it is. It's probably a Sansan, but
no, I don't. I think it's that card that he can put an advancement on something at the beginning of his turn.
oh yeah, you're right. That's what it is. Well, so we'll ignore that. Just take a credit then, or run HQ. One of the two. I think there's probably a little bit of value in both. It's probably thin value.
I think we're okay. Like, there's nothing expensive that we need to install. I think the extra HQ access is probably better.
Yeah. The thing is, we haven't installed our breakers yet, so knowing we have to have the money for that down the line is important. But yeah, seeing when he's got 3 cards in HQ, you get a better information on where he stands with his capabilities.
Anonymous tip.
Just dig for that mid-seasons, I guess. Ooh, sweeps, that's not good.
Oh, now we actually have to play because he's got money.
Yeah. Well, what we want to do, thinking forward, one of the things that I do when I play, I like to think a couple of turns in advance, is we want to get the HQ ice res so that later we can crescentus down the R&D ice to play the Maker's Eye. So we want to set up that play several turns in advance. So we need to start digging and get the Maker's Eyes and our breakers built up. So I would start the turn and take probably the fall guy off of the street peddler. It seems kind of like earlier I said wait for the off-campus apartment, but right now we're trying to get to that point.
So we install a fall guy and we gain a fall guy.
I think we can probably just burn the fall guy for the draw.
Just sweet mystery of life.
Yeah, so
now I found you.
Now we can start plunking some stuff down and get some value out of our cards. So play that and then the fall guy.
Do we burn him?
No, I think we can actually sit on that one and just actually put down the 2 breakers. Because right now, he doesn't care that we have code gate breakers. And we could potentially punish, like putting it out on the remote or something with it, if that makes sense. Hey, that was a DBS.
But yeah. I don't know. Seems good.
Yeah, so now we really want to start looking for scrubber if possible, or just ways to make money. Because we really want to, now that he's got 2 pads rolling, it's kind of important for us to go after that stuff. And the DBS is not great for us either.
This is why I advocated for putting scrubber in the deck.
Yeah.
Because
What? Is he giving us free info?
He accidentally read. He's nervous. Yeah, he's nervous.
Yeah. Happens. I think he did, didn't he?
No, he gave himself more clicks.
Oh, okay. I've done that before.
It's alright, it happens.
Yep. Yeah, I think even the Data Raven for him right now is a pretty big liability if we can keep him off pads, because the Crescentus is just going to do work.
Yep.
4 credits for him right now is a lot if we can keep him off pad.
Alright, so what are we doing? Are we drawing or are we popping Fall Guy?
I think I pop Fall Guy just because we want the clicks. I like to go into my deck and make money at the same time.
It seems good.
I think we could draw 1. We really want to spike before we do anything. Well, that's convenient. So yeah, why don't we put that down?
The spike or the shiv?
Actually, I like the shiv better because you aren't giving up the information that we have the spike.
Do we want to just see? Yeah, go.
Did he install 5 just this turn?
Yes.
We might as well go see it. I mean, it's probably the early premiere, but we're not really in a hurry.
It's another pad.
I think we let him res that, but that kind of makes us have to trash 1 or 4 this turn.
Yeah. What are we doing with last click?
I think we run server 1 or server 4 and trash it. We want him to spend that money resing the pad and get nowhere, basically.
Right. Also, our film critic is really pondering this cat agenda.
That's like me watching cat videos on YouTube. Just take forever trying to figure out if it's good or not. The short answer is they're all good.
They're all good. It's like the end of Last Samurai. All of the blossoms are perfect. All of the cat videos are perfect.
Yes. So he did, in fact, go for the pad campaign for no gain. It's kind of hurting us, but he's not getting them back. So I don't mind trashing them.
Right, and our economy is slowly escalating, and his is not.
Yep. I think we want to kind of draw into our deck a little bit more, build the tech rider, so that when we're done trashing the pads, we can crack it and go to work on the servers.
Yeah, it's also worth noting that we have effectively 5 points.
Yeah, and again, that's why I was okay with wasting a click to check what was likely in early premiere.
He's C-sourcing us.
Does he know that we have 1 link? Oh, he's got the making news credits. Got it. So what's he? Is that 5? We can beat that.
Yep, we can beat that because we've got Link.
I wonder if he didn't remember we had Link. I kind of feel bad for him. That keeps us off his pads, so that's still fair value for him. Interesting that he decided to do that. Huh.
Well, I mean, it did pour us out.
Yeah, I mean, there's that.
All right, so I think we draw, or what do you think?
Yeah, I would go into the deck a little bit here. That's
there
good.
You are.
I would go ahead and draw more because we know we're going to install that, so we want to see our options before playing it. I'm okay with actually cracking the tech rider soon, but maybe not this turn. Maybe just play both of them out. I'm not entirely sure about that.
I'm okay.
Again,
with
we
that.
have time is most of the reason why it's kind of a laissez-faire approach.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with taking the tech rider for 4.
As opposed to the savoir-faire approach we'll take later.
Yes.
See what I did there?
Right, I gotcha.
Yeah.
It's all about the French up in here, right? Is that even French?
I assume so. I guess when you're a criminal, you're like mafia and also like Latino street gang and also French.
Yeah.
And we'll throw an old spy in there for good measure.
Yep. I like it.
Who
The
looks
theme is just piling up.
Who looks suspiciously like Woodhouse from Archer.
Man, we're never going to see him again. That's so sad.
What, Ian?
No, actual Woodhouse.
Actual Woodhouse, yeah.
The voice actor is dead.
I know. That's unfortunate.
Terrible.
Well, I mean, it's more unfortunate that a man passed away than us not getting to see the character. But both things.
Let's
are
be practical, yeah. Okay,
Right.
so this turn, I think we need to actually get him to res some ice, and he did just play an anonymous tip without controlling his hand. So I think we should crack the Tech Rider, put down the spike, and go for the legwork. It'll get him to spend credits, get us some cards, which is our draw.
We don't have
money.
the memory for Spike.
Oh, you're right. Why doesn't Geist have 2 link to begin with?
Because he's not Sonny LeBeau.
Okay.
If he had 2 link and his ability,
yeah,
he would be bananas good.
It'd be broke.
Like,
okay, so yeah, I mean, I guess we can go one more into the deck. We're not going to.
Come on, Forger.
So we can either take the QPM now, or it's kind of a weird spot. I think we just take the QPM and probably pitch the levy. I feel like we're losing a little bit of ground here to the pads.
Yeah.
It's a funky part of our draw, though.
Yeah, but then in like 4 turns, we'll just be sitting on a giant mountain of money.
Yeah. The DBS is helping him keep his hand pure, but the anonymous tip he played, I feel like, has really got him kind of pinned in HQ right now.
Right, and keep in mind, we only have to strike 1 more time, most likely, to win the game.
Yep. That's the advantage of getting the early runs down. It's still as important as it ever has been.
Right.
It really modifies the way you have to play as a corp when you're on game point, and it's not in a good way for you.
Alright, so what are we doing here?
So he's on server 6 over there installing an ice. I still kind of want to pressure the centrals before we go check that, increasing our odds of getting in without expending anything. So he'll spend down his money on the centrals that we can try over there for cheap. Based on what I've seen from him, he may be a newer player and not really understand the value of an inside job, and he may actually be playing an agenda here. So we do have to kind of be concerned that it might be an agenda.
Okay.
I think probing HQ and seeing if we can get him to res some barriers to even let us know that he has barriers is kind of important. So why don't we hit HQ and get stopped by a pop-up window?
Yeah.
But we can get around that. Can't we? No, we can't. We don't have this Street Peddler. I fire off a breaker here for sure. Free up MU for Spike.
I feel like
get money.
That should probably be one of the crowbars as opposed to one of the shivs.
I think so. We have Mongoose in our deck, and Mongoose is better than Passport.
Hey, that's good. It's not what we're looking for, but it's still pretty okay.
We can afford it.
We can afford it now.
Yep.
That's the miracle of Geist.
Okay. He's going to let us in. Closed accounts. All right.
Do we want to drop the tech trader on the off-campus?
That leaves us with a click to be able to credit and install something. Yeah, and I'm okay with pitching a legwork at this point too. So I'm okay with that. The tech trader, yeah.
Yeah, we keep misnaming it. It's okay. Hey, look, and we got one of our duplicates, which we really don't.
That's another good side effect. What's the worst that would happen if we contested the remote? We get Boothed, which doesn't matter. Archangel, which could potentially matter. He just seems like he's playing a lot of end the run ice though, and less taxing stuff. We have a click left. The worst that could happen with an Archangel.
We actually have 2 clicks left.
Yeah, I mean after we run.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we might contest that server 6 and just kind of get him to spend some money off the centrals.
Yeah, I can agree with that play. It's a rainbow. Well, we still can't break it.
We can't break it, yeah. All right, so we can do credit here, or we can we draw? We can drop the OCA and a legwork, so we could potentially draw again if you want. I'm 50-50 on draw versus credit.
I think we're actually starting to get to the point where we want some standing money so that we can threaten the legwork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think credit's probably slightly stronger. Being able to double legwork is not too bad either. Like one turn after another. The DBS fixing his hand is probably helping him. Does he have any face down cards?
Let's check.
He's probably got 1 or 2.
He has 2.
Okay. Well, let's hope for his sake they're not agendas. Is he going to score this agenda out or what?
He's not. I have a strange feeling that's like a Bernice, based on what we're seeing thus far, that's like a Bernice Mai or something, or like.
Yeah. Oh, maybe a restructured data pool or something.
Or a Beal.
Could be, yeah, going for the big Beal.
He would have just, yeah.
Little Xeno, we're pretty close to getting into that beast. I kind of like taking the Tech Rider for the $5 on the card because we want to draw and we need money to do whatever we want with the cards that we do draw.
That's actually pretty good. That no-cost program's pretty good for us right now.
Right. This is where the auto-scripter would have been nice.
You can't have everything, Brian.
I know. I ask too much of my decks. This is how I end up with 50 card guys decks. So because he res the ice, it seems like it could be an agenda, and the fact that he hasn't had any hand fixing yet. So it seems like it's worth it to go for it.
It could also be a Ghost Branch.
I know.
Based on what we've seen so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It could be a Ghost Branch, and that's bad for us. But if he reses the outer ice, we have less cost going into the central servers.
Here, I'm going to put this fairy and this spike down, and then we're going to run it, and if they...
You can't.
Why?
You don't have the MU.
Oh, damn it.
You did what I did. But we can do the crowbar.
Or you mean the spike?
Yep. I think we can go ahead and contest that. I'm just not super worried about Ghost Branch right now. He does run C-Source, though, which is goofy. Well, he does have a closed accounts, which is pretty bad for us. Are we just okay with that?
Yeah, let's just go.
Yeah. Wait. We can't get past the rainbow if we do that.
That's true. So I guess we're done.
Yep. Jack out. We could
I think
potentially
we actually draw here.
Yeah, draw is fine. This is getting dicey. We need to get that Scrover down and do some work once he scores that agenda.
See, we thought we were in Jagtown.
Instead of breaking news, that would be so sick.
Breaking news, closed account, all-seeing eye.
Yep. We have the Peddler for recovery, though. Oh, Sploda. Okay. Good for him.
But that would have been so good if it was the breaking news, closed accounts, all-seeing eye play. I would give him mad props. I got hit with that a while back, and somebody was like, "I'm gonna mid-season you," and I'm like, "Okay, I have a billion tags." He's like, "Cool, closed accounts."
Yeah, that's
all-seeing eye. I'm like, "Oh, it's brutal."
That's the blowout.
Yeah. All right, so we have a street pedal. Do we pedal onto the off-campus apartment?
100%. We got to see a lot of cards here. We need the MU, which is something I've never really said before.
Yay! It's on there. Oh, okay. And so's our Maker's Eye.
But we have the same ult, so we can plunk down the same ult at the end of the turn and try Maker's later.
I think we got to get the Forger down.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it out of a run either, so yeah, now it's fine. We can see a card and get some bucks.
Hey, we got Breach. That's pretty handy.
Yeah. So the question is, are we going to contest this remote?
I think we should.
I think it doesn't hurt to check it. With 2 clicks left after the run, we're going to have to put another breaker down, so yeah.
Why don't we just drop the fairy and go?
Is the Breach better? It gives us the ability to threaten HQ without another click, and we're not going to use fairy on guard or that thing, right?
That's fair. So
it gives us the strength, and we're not going to. We'll need it later.
Okay, yeah, I can be down for that. Let's drop that, and then let's see what's behind door number 6.
So this is what I love about Geist. We're in most situations we'd be losing tempo here. We're actually kind of getting tempo.
Yep, and then we'll go in here. Which one do we want to use for this?
I think we probably want to go with the...
We don't want to use the spike because we've already used 2 of them.
Yeah, I feel like...
The crowbar?
I feel like the crowbar is going to have to be it.
Because there's a lot of sentries in this deck?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, this could just... It says GG, so that's going to be it. we'll just take it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it didn't go very well for him. We didn't really, have to go too fast.
Right, but the important thing is if you look at this game, like, but we got to the mid game, and now we're making money and drawing cards for literally everything that we were going to do anyway.
Yep. We didn't have to keep up with the pads too much, and we now, potentially, if the game were to continue, we can get our value back out of Tech Rider and trash all that stuff and still have money and increasing tempo as the game goes on. So I think we're in a good spot. It just kind of ends up in a good spot as long as you play tight.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts or like high level tips for getting into the Geist mindset for people?
Just remember that, like, while your board state is transient, you also have the levy to reset your board and get everything back. But early pressure is still key. You can't depend on running a bunch like you used to with Criminal. This one is get the excesses early, get the agendas, and then in the mid game you can accelerate through and get the remaining points. So fast early, and then build up, and then go fast again.
Right. It's really amazing to me how much he does kind of feel like noise, where you have like a couple turns off, and then it's like a burst of power.
Yep, it's the critical mass.
Yeah. Yeah, but even more so with Geist. Like, I feel like I have super turns. Like, I've had turns with the version that I made before this, the one man's trashes another man's 3 credits, where I'd be like, legwork. I'd be like, account siphon, legwork, maker's eye, and I would just, like, steal, like, 5 points of agendas.
Yeah, so that's another thing we can talk about is that had we had account siphon in this game, it would have been easier for us to just have R&D open for more turns and trash the resources. Because of the way this matchup worked out, his economy was asset based, and he didn't end up having a whole lot of money. So we can keep him poor off of hitting HQ, and then just trash the resources and have R&D open. So this is like a case for where Siphon would have been actually good.
I think that's a good point. But then there's other matchups in the current meta where somebody slaps a Caprice on HQ, an experienced player, let's say, and then like the Siphon is basically turned off. Like,
right, yeah. What we're looking at here isn't exactly a snapshot of the meta per se.
Right, per se, because we've got res guards and rainbows on the table.
Well, I mean, rainbow is because of Dumble Fork, but yeah, the guards are kind of an indicator. It's a little out there, off meta, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was a good game. We got to see. I think it's good because we got to see the key pieces of the deck, but we also got to see how to pilot kind of a weird, not optimal opening.
Yep, against a kind of off-meta deck that kind of unexpected stuff comes up.
But yeah, so Brian, thank you very much for coming on. It was a blast having you on the channel, man.
Yep, it's fun. I'll come back.
Oh, well, anytime you have anything janky or anything that you want to test or, want to go over, you're always welcome. You guys can find him online as 0 Hour on NetRunnerDB and the Stimhack forums.
Yep. And
you can find NR Black Hats wherever fine Netrunner content is sold on YouTube, and we also have a podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. Check us out, subscribe, and share. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.